think it will be.
Depends.
I think I'll be like, honestly,
You are going to.
Okay, colorism. Are light-skinned women more marketable than dark-skinned women?
I think Carmela, since you were so hyped to answer the question.
I'm gonna get started. I don't think it's a social construct. I feel like it's something that has been. Okay, maybe it's a social construct. It's something that we've been indoctrinated to believe, like from slavery times, how the light-skinned girls work in the house and whatever.
The brown paper bag test as well.
The brown paper bag test, and like, I think it's more of like an inferiority complex that black people suffer from. Like, if you have a little bit of white in you, then, oh girl, you better. And like, and I feel like with guys, or with black guys, they really just want whatever's cool, whatever's the best that they can get, whatever the American guys are doing, which is the Latina women. So for us, it translates into the light-skinned black girl.
In terms of work, like some experiences that I've gone through, you know, they're telling me, oh no, we didn't give you this job because of your nationality or whatever. So I'm like, alright, cool, but I always think to myself, if I was a colored hun, you guys wouldn't even question my nationality. I could have gotten away with it. You know what I mean? And then there's like other things that I believe is a major factor is family, man. Sometimes your family members that said like a joke, like, you know, marry a white guy because they better. You know, what are you insinuating? Is
you know what
I mean? It's like, what's wrong with the black guy? I would have gotten a lot of jobs if I was really light in complexion. If I was like colored with good hair, I would have gotten a lot of jobs, you know. I do, right? Thank you.
It's not my fault that we're in one family and I happen to be the lightest girl. So I think as a black people, yes, your family is stereotypically saying, oh yes, you're dark, so marry someone white so we can have light children or light grandchildren. So when you go out there and you see a light-skinned person and they're like, oh no, you know, we're all just brown skin, and like, man, don't talk you yellow bone, and I'm like, okay, because I chose to be lighter than you. I think that as a black people, we need to be inclusive. And I think the stereotype of light skin and dark skin now, especially in the woke age, is trying to elevate melanin as the darkest of dark. And I appreciate you, you know, Alec Weck, you know, coming through. But don't ignore that there are other people that are light in the spectrum.
Collarbone girls should not be included in the hashtag of melanin. Sorry. What you're saying is kind of like Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter. Like for real? That's what you're saying. It's just the light-skinned girls are the white people.
Because can you see how it's kind of like, it's been constructed in a way that dark-skinned people are now going to go against light-skinned people, which is not the case. And that's the way that it's been set up since the
Yes, that's what I'm saying, right? But I get what you're saying, right? But I'm saying when she says that we're excluding light-skinned people from the whole melanin movement, that's not what we're doing. We're not saying that you guys don't have melanin. We're just saying we want to appreciate our own melanin, please. That's all. We're not saying, oh, light-skinned girls ain't.
No, you guys are confused. Remember when Black Lives Matter came out and white people were like, no, you guys are excluding us. All lives matter. That's what she's saying.
For me, the hashtag melanin, I thought I was under the impression that it's all shades and not just dark-skinned girls.
Yeah, that's what
you know, I honestly thought it was all shades, not just dark-skinned girls. So when Merve brought that up, I was just like, okay, I had no idea that light-skinned girls were being excluded. And I think it's an ugly thing because within the black community, we need to stop coming at each other. Instead, we need to like stand together and create something beautiful.
Said in order to control black people, make them fight against each other. And what they would do is sometimes they would take the lighter people and they put them in the house, the white, the house, you know what I'm saying? And then it creates somewhat of a cross system, and then you end up fighting within each other without looking at who's actually oppressing you. And it has worked. Now it works, but now the thing is, even till now, where we are acknowledging that you should be proud of your skin, whether you're light skin or you're dark skin. The issue comes where, because of our history, we always used to use light-skinned women for these ads and these campaigns and all that kind of stuff, and they haven't found a way to adapt the darker-skinned women.
Because it's white companies doing these things.
But what is that saying now? It's white companies.
What
supermodel right now? It's dark skin. There's a 15-year-old in Ethiopia or something who's growing up.
Sudan.
Where's she from?
Sudan. Yeah.
So essentially, all this stuff is classified. Like, if a dark-skinned girl wears a certain outfit, it has to look a certain way for her to pull it off. It's assumed in public that a light-skinned girl can wear whatever she wants in a better way than a dark-skinned girl. Like the general population, like when people are walking around, light-skinned girls don't really dress that wow.
What you say, I get the truth in it, and also in what Carmela says. The reality is that when Carmela says that, it's like Black lives and, all lives matter, she's right. Because when you speak, let's say we talk about foundation, it is not okay that when we walk into Grace or this came, we don't have foundation for girls, Carmela shade and darker. It's not okay. So at that moment, melanin matters. And unfortunately, Merve, you don't count right then. You have melanin in you, but then your foundation has existed since Estée Lauder started doing foundation. Your foundation was the darkest shade. So when we speak about dark melanin, at that moment we need to make the people that have these big companies realize that you have been ignoring a huge population, thinking that melanin was your bracket. We're not saying, some of us did science, you do have melanin. But we're not saying that you're not, but we're saying that the melanin that matters right now is the melanin that is being ignored. Is the melanin that needs to be catered for. But to back up to you, what he said is that the reality when I do wigs, dark girls don't ask for color. Light girls look like do blonde. Dark girls don't ask for color simply because they haven't seen a picture of a dark girl that can just express herself. So I do agree with what you're saying in terms of they can't have whatever they want because they are oppressed, either mentally or socially.
So that clearly means that light girls are more marketable.
But that's
you know why?
That's what you're saying.
No, you know why?
Not more, they are marketable. Not that they're more marketable. It's because they're being marketable.
That's why they're more marketable, because that's all social media has shown us.
But
that's
then
all that
what about the men? The males, the light-skinned and dark-skinned men?
No,
you see,
right now as we're growing, the melanin age is great. It's like, yes, you're popping, you're fine. Carmela, yes, go dark-skinned girl, cool, great. You're great. But when a person is light, oh no, she's only pretty because she's
Can I please say something?
Why must there be shade on lightness? Why can't we elevate darkness, elevate lightness? Why must there be shade on the light to portray?
Guys, can I say something? Firstly, I don't think that light-skinned girls are more marketable. They make us think they're more marketable because that's the only thing that they are marketing at the moment. And I think that slowly but surely we're starting to flip the script a bit, promoting natural black girl hair, promoting dark skin girls, the features here and there. So slowly but surely we're starting to embrace dark skin girls. I agree with what everyone's saying. I agree with what Movi's saying, because the other day I posted something melanin and one of my friends got into my DMs and she was like, "You're not that dark though, why are you?" And I'm like, what do you mean I'm not that dark and I don't qualify? Disappointed, in that black people feel that it's necessary for us to have a divide amongst each other. And yeah, guys, my melanin is popping, what you mean? And I also agree with what Carmela is saying, because when yellow bones were here, #yellow bones, we let them have their time to shine. So now we also need to let the melanin girls do their thing. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think with the yellow bone thing, I think a yellow bone is just a miscommunication and misuse of term. I think that's just that. But regarding to the melanin, it should be an all-inclusive thing. I don't think we need to create a division within ourselves already.
You're more melanin than me.
Light-skinned girls also want to be included, so dark-skinned girls are saying, nah. When you guys had your shine, you never considered us, you never thought about us. So now when it's our time, why should we also include you guys in this? I think the whole narrative needs to be changed whereby we include everybody.
When you did the hashtag, when you said, oh, she's yellow and she's like it, because at that phase,
but there also used to be a hashtag called red bone.
What?
Nah, red bone was trended though. That thing never trended though. Yellow bone was the thing.
Red bone was.
Yellow bone was the
a real thing, man.
And the black girls had to keep quiet. The dark girls had to sit down.
When you were talking about separation,
But
what was
guys,
it?
there was the age of slim thick, there was the age of slender. I don't
not an
understand.
age.
Once you become thick, do you say, oh no, you just slender? No, I'm slender.
No,
I'm
I'm
like,
not-
no, but
It's not an
my
age,
thing is this.
hey.
My thing is this. We need to stop as black people. And I know you guys are
Separating.
saying, no, but you guys had your times of yellow bone and you shine. But I'm saying, but when we were yellow, we were born yellow. Now
Can I
we
please
praise.
say- I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying this.
But we're not saying what
Why
you're
is
saying.
this? Wait,
to
no,
ignore
my
you.
thing is this. Dark skinned girls want to bash the yellow bone.
No.
But when there was the hashtag, no, it's not a no. Even you just said now, you said hashtag melanin. They came in your DMs and they were like, you're not that dark. They trying to ruin your shine because you're not that dark. What is that saying? How many other dark, if I say today hashtag yellow bone, hashtag melanin, I'm like, my melanin popping, they'll be like, but you light though. but you're light. I mean,
Can I see
and
something?
in a brown paper bag test, I would be a brown paper bag and I'd qualify as dark.
What is this brown
So,
paper bag taste?
it's basically you used to take your brown paper bag and then they put it on your skin. If you're darker, you're black. If you're lighter, you're light. So if it was a brown paper, none is a brown paper.
Camilla, you wanted to
But you
say?
see-
So
Can I please say something? First of all, you really don't understand the struggle. Like, I know you think, oh, I'm
She's
black,
trying to say that.
but
She's
you
trying to
really,
say that.
you
I want
really
that.
have no idea. This whole thing of melanin, Dawson girls, Alec Vic, Lupita Nyong'o, it's on social media.
It's not
When
in
you
real
get out
life.
of your house in real life, no one's gonna treat you like, oh, you this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. People are like, oh, she's still dark. People, like, they literally still marginalize you. I went to, what's that is? Clinique. I went to Clinique to get foundation. Did they not say that they do not stock dark, like,
Your shade.
One shade.
Go to Lancome.
Ooh.
That's how that emotion.
Woo! Okay, did they not say that they do not stock my shade? Like, seriously, like, she's like, nah, I should try Mac and start that shade, like, stock like shades for everyone because here they like cap it at a certain, like,
Wow.
probably your shade. Can you imagine
Wow.
what that feels like?
So
I can't imagine.
Exactly, so you don't understand the struggle.
No,
And no, can I say something? You know that as a light skin girl, you have a privilege.
But I just feel like, why bash though? Like, you don't have to bash us if we say hashtag melanin and I'm not the darkest of dark bones, you know?
You guys were talking about Clinique. Clinique, there's the shades until a certain point. How am I gonna bring a dark skinned person to advertise a light thing? Do you get what I'm saying?
What they
Why do they make?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That we need to, someone needs to come in and fill that gap and create that hole. That
And that's
just,
what it's
just
been
and
done now.
then wait, sorry, just to finish. And then we need to have everyone contributing to the upliftment or the filling of that gap.
That's not
No
gonna happen.
no segregation.
need to understand.
It's
Why
why is it impossible? Why is it impossible? Wait, why is it impossible? You know why? Wait, let me say this. Let me say this. No, guys, listen.
If you go to the big companies, and that's what Lupita Nyong'o was the face.
No, look at the difference between a Jewish guy and an Italian guy. There are different shades.
White areas.
There are different shades. How do white people have all the shades? How do white people, from the albino looking guy with the ginger hair to the Italian guy who almost looks black, how do they have all the shades for all their people? How do they have that? That's what I'm saying, that as black people, we also need to create something that fills that gap, and we all need to uplift each other to fulfilling that gap. And
changing the narrative.
We
So
supposed to
say this.
But I feel like sometimes
So we
black
can't keep
people,
making
we ourselves
excuses.
are our own biggest enemies.
That's
Like, you
why-
guys-
but that's
You
why
guys
we
saw
have this
that, and
argument.
it was also like, okay,
Me.
the dark skinned chick is attacking the light skinned chick.
Yeah.
And that's how it's always been.
That's why the
You know
whole
what I mean?
shades
That's
thing
what I'm
was
saying.
developed to
Can I
divide
say
you.
something?
That's
The dark skin chick is always portrayed to be attacking and angry and blah blah
So you the
blah.
victim.
No!
I'm saying I'm not attacking anybody. I'm saying
You
I'm
not
not
just-
shut
yeah.
I'm attacking my angry. If you think about even like back in the day sitcoms, right? The main girl is some like my wife and kids and
Like
Martin.
Martin.
And then the sidekick is
chick will
the
always
angry
be,
ratchet dust.
That's
What's
actually
up
true,
with that?
yeah,
What is up
actually,
with that? No, it's not
yeah.
okay. We're trying to fight for what we deserve and our standing in society and the respect that we deserve for everything that we've actually done. I'm talking obviously on behalf of like my ancestors.
It's not that, you know, it's not that dark-skinned women aren't beautiful, you know, and you're saying that we paint you as the angry black woman, and that's because you guys, that anger comes from insecurity, you know. Yes, it does. It comes from insecurity. I'll tell
I
you
don't
why.
think so.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
The anger comes from insecurity because you don't feel appreciated enough. And that's why you black girls, you see us, black guys, like a white girl, you start tripping, you know, already.
And vice versa though.
No, we don't.
That's what we trade.
And you know, also that we've also, in a way, you know, been victimized.
No!
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because
Black
like,
men victim. Okay,
I'll tell you why. Because right now, you know, if let's say you and I would start dating, you know, all the dark-skinned girls, they're gonna have a problem with that. They're gonna say things like, they're gonna throw a lot of words like, oh, it's because she's light-skinned.
When you label the black girl and says that the black girl is insecure, it's insecure. It's not the black girl that is insecure. It is the society that is messed up, that has messed up the black people, the black girl, and now you're projecting the insecurity that the society even started and labeling it on the black girl and saying that no, she's insecure. I don't think at all. I don't think she's insecure at all. And when you say about the woman being more marketable, no, it is because it's easier for you. And just the way it was easier for white men, and I'm saying it equally, just like it was easier for the white men to take the yellow bone.
Yeah.
And sorry for pointing at you. I'm not, you know, it's just one of these. If I was a white person, she would have been the white person that I'm talking as the ancestor of slavery. Anyways, just like it was easier for the white person to bring the yellow bone inside the house and us to be the well. I'm not even, because I'm in the middle section. And her to be outside digging the cotton, it's the exact same way as the statement that you said. I don't think that they're more marketable.
I'll tell you why they're more marketable. Because all these things that you see here are made by a white man. He made it to accommodate these people. Do you get what I'm saying? So now when you come along, let me just say, when you come along, you know, he's not really, you know, he hasn't really invented something for you. So when you say, someone was talking about my wife and kids and the protagonist being light-skinned, sorry, that's just because, you know, they want to make sure that, because it's on TV, white TV, basically, they want to make you more marketable to their people as well. That's why I'm saying the light-skinned woman is more marketable. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying this is the fact.
And also, I don't think people like to be referred to as light-skinned, as Jones loves to. Light-skinned Merv. I'm just like, oh, why can't I just be Merv? Why must you add light-skinned?
Because there's two Mervs.
Yeah, just say Merv S, Merv, Unamaka, why must you say light-skinned?
Even if we don't support them, that doesn't mean it's going to stop them from producing stuff that doesn't benefit us.
And making their money.
It's still going to happen. They're still going to keep producing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure,
and now supporting the one that do produce.
I think it goes back. I think it goes very much back to what you were saying, Vanessa, about how society constructs all these insecurities that dark-skinned girl feels. Because a lot of the time, when we go back to the hashtag yellow bone, when the dark-skinned girls were feeling disenfranchised, the yellow bones were just living their best lives. Now all of a sudden, that's where they're coming from. All of a sudden, when it's better than popping, you yellow bones who are black want to come into the fight.
When I go and I want to buy Nubian Palace, I don't care if she's yellow bone. I'm like, I'm supporting black businesses. When I go and buy Family Company, I don't care if it was 3 colored people, it was 2 mixed race, it was 1. I'm like, now I'm supporting black businesses because that's an African continent. We need to support everyone that comes from the soil.
Also give space for the people producing these things to learn.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of black people want to, they say support black products, and then they want to support the black product, but the moment there's one thing wrong, they'll be like, this is why I don't support. But then when you go to, I don't know, the movies by a white person, the chemical, and the electricity goes, you find taking the voucher.
Listen, I think I believe in the concept of sticking and marrying to where you're from, because I believe relationships and marriages and committed relationships, long-lasting relationships are already complicated as it is. So I don't think bringing a mixture of culture sometimes will give you a headache that you don't need. That's how I live my life, and so far it's proved to be good. And to mix with a Caucasian because I think the light skin, we've already established that light skin, dark skin and all of that stuff, they're so black, so that's all within us. So somehow our narrative is still the same, we kind of understand each other. But I have marrying with a Caucasian, I don't know, man. I think, honest, I might go extreme. I might say it's extreme. I feel it's almost
like us.
It's a betrayal. So
So for some people it's nice. I mean, I've got some friends and I've got some personal experiences dating a white girl, dating a black girl, dating a dark-skinned black girl, dating a light-skinned black girl. And one thing I've noticed that it's just like, what can you handle? A white girl comes with a lot, you might go on a holiday. Like, you might like, when you look at dating a white girl, the parents are more accustomed to, like, hey, I'm taking your daughter out at 10 p.m. Not all, like, they're more nonchalant, they're so relaxed about this.
So dating a black girl is difficult.
Yes. For 2 months, and you have to getting shipped out to Durban. Now it's a white person thing, you know, it's normal. Like 2 months out, it's a culture, it's there, it's how they do things. So you're gonna be ready for that. You're gonna be ready to tell your parents, look, yeah, she's taking me, Nicole's taking me to Durban. She's taking me to Durban with the family, with the grandparents. Yeah, now you're in the family. And these people, the scary part is, they run the ship like so smoothly. You break up with her, she's dating another person, and it's okay, they're taking him now.
When you show your homeboy like, yo man, I met this chick, and then your homeboy be like, ooh, Ash, she likes
what about you and like
she's
guys?
so bad. Guys,
I would not be in an interracial relationship. Purely because you said everybody has freedom of choice, and my choice just happens to be a tall, dark, black man, you know, that chocolate bar, that is my portion. So I'm not racist in any way. White people, you're great. Light-skinned niggas, you're great. Meh. Pour moi, in this life, he has to be tall, dark, and handsome.
Idris Elba, audition.
Light-skinned guys are bad, eh?
I don't trust light-skinned guys. I don't like light-skinned. Okay, no. I don't want to offend anyone. It's just not my vibe. Like I don't.
Why is it
that.
It's your preference. Why don't you trust him?
It's my preference. I had a bad experience with a light-skinned guy. With 2 light-skinned guys.
But can I just say, even though that's not her preference, she doesn't go around and perpetuate and, ooh, you cute for a light-skinned guy, or you need to get lighter, ooh, you need to get darker.
I've done that. I said, you cute but you light skin as kiss booty. I've done that. So no guy show. I would never. Congolese black. The blacker the better. Congolese black, tall, please, educated and moneyed.
But there's no.
They're like babies. I need a man who can. It's not someone. It's not no action and lifestyle. It's just like.
So you basically know white boys.
I mean, white boys know a different race is fine. Me, I'm trying to green eye.
You know, that's my portfolio.
It starts with you as an individual. You need to accept your melanin. You need to know that this melanin is popping. This is what it is. I'm going to rep it. I'm going to be proud of it. And then you need to teach that to your kids. And every generation that comes needs to be a generation of kids who are just like, yes, melanin all the way forward.
Hashtag.
All shades matter.
All shades matter.
It doesn't even matter, you know. I've never been one to look at a girl. Maybe when I was younger, you know, because we lived in a society where it was like, yo man, I got a white girl. Like, oh yeah. But then the older you get, you mature. No, my parents weren't African. My mom went Congolese.
Yes.
I mean, my dad doesn't. As long as I'm happy, but that's a whole nother debate, you know. For me personally, if I can talk to someone, I feel like that's really important because okay, you look nice now. Now we at home, what do we do? We chilling because I want to talk to you is just a nonsense.
Yeah. But you know, now imagine us as men, we get married with Caucasian women, have light skinned women, and that narrative is all our children are seeing.
Yeah.
What are we saying? So hold on. So that means we cannot just change that narrative by how we speak. It needs to change that narrative by how we live our lives.
Can I just add to that? See, I'm personally, I'm still a believer of love. So it's one of those things where I honestly feel no. What I mean by that is even if honestly I feel like I'm gonna watch my words here. So don't judge me too hard for my words, but you're gonna trap yourself with a certain type of woman because you want to push a certain agenda.
Yes.
No, listen. What I want to listen. No, like I get you, and I know that's not where you're going. But what I'm saying is that I personally, I'm one of those. So, like most of us here, I was born in Congo, but raised in South Africa. And sometimes in South Africa, I'm too Congolese to be South African, and sometimes in Congo, I'm too for me personally, it's not about skin color. About who I date. And honestly, if I'm in love with a person, whether she's
talking about cultures, not necessarily about
yes, what I'm saying is that even if our cultures are the same, even if our cultures are different, as long as I'm in love with this person, and this person is hundreds for me, I'm hundreds for that person.
Now, then based on that statement, now we have to go to your definition of what love is. Because a Caucasian girl will never understand that it's too hard you're too Congolese for DRC, or you're too South.
Unless she's the same.
Unless she's what? There are no Caucasians from the DRC. The only Caucasians that from the DRC that we see speak Lingala or Chiluba were those ones who grew up in the 60s. And those are fathers. Name me a Caucasian person now. No,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know every single person.
I get it. Sometimes we just need to put our fists up for the black people.
We go. No, I can support the black
people. Because I feel like to continue the culture, because already our culture now, just by virtue of me having been born in Congo and raised in South Africa, my culture is already watered down. I'm Congolese, I can speak Lingala, but I can speak French, but I can't really identify. Now, if I water down and marry Mediterranean,
it's over.
Now
generation ends there.
We understand each other. We have this similar cultures. We were raised the same way because it'll make it easier for us to communicate our way of thought, our chain of thinking, and to transcend the vision to our children. And for me to transcend the vision to her, for her to understand it. I think with someone else, it's usually a lot more difficult, and relationship and marriages are hard already. So why make it harder?
I'm already thinking like, yo dog, are you serious about this? Because I want to continue the Congo. And he's like, yes, definitely. I'm like, cool. When I have my children, when we go back to Basaguso, we go back to Kasai, we know what we're trying to instill in them. Like, it's Congo pride. So I'm not just thinking of love as in love, I want to die with you. I'm thinking, am I leaving a greater generation that will push what we believed in and that will advance Congo and not think of Congo as a foreign land where my father and my mother came from?
Okay, but now to answer your question, that has nothing to do with the culture or the race or whatever. Because someone from Italy, and you tell him, listen, baby, I really love my Congolese culture and whatever. He will. I've got family friends. I don't know if they were born in Congo or whatever, what their situation is. White, speaks Lingala, speaks Swahili better than I do. If he really loves you, he will go to Kasai with you. He will learn the Congolese tradition. He will push your children to learn the Congolese culture and everything. That's why I say for me personally, it doesn't have to do with.
Find them.
No, find them. But and my thing is also not to get too religious, but that you're speaking more about equally yoked. And you don't get married to someone who doesn't see the vision or is not in the same. It's not necessarily the person doesn't necessarily have to be from the same culture. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same race. Doesn't necessarily have to have the exact same things that you have in terms of where you were born and whatnot. But if up here and in their heart, you guys are equally yoked, then you guys can push the vision. You can push whatever vision you want.
I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but I've seen mixed race who are you see like someone's father is very Chiluba every day, the mother Lingala every day, but their children, you're like, I can see they care about Congo. I can see if any day they'd go back and teach their children. But the society you're in and what you have around you doesn't allow.
I don't believe that is a thing because I'm Congolese, I have to marry a Congolese woman in order for the Congolese culture to further. No, I don't believe any of that nonsense at all. It's just that nonsense.
Nonsense.
Let's say for example my wife was colored or white. Let's say my wife is white. But I will teach my kids that the black woman is beautiful. She's gorgeous. Just like the light-skinned woman, just like the white woman. And I know
Listen, harmony, hold on, let's slow down. Because right there we're speaking I'm not listening to anything that you say. That's what I'm saying children listen to what their parents do, not what they say. As much as you say that Congo is not beautiful, but you never go to Congo, you go to Congo once in a while. You know? Because the thing is that we have to be realistic about the situation that we are in and the rate at which our world is going.
And the rate at which our world is going, the time to spend the time with our kids, how we're spending now, and to manifest whatever we are telling them into real action, realistically.
Congolese, for instance, me as a Congolese man, if I marry an Indian lady, it's not to say my child will not be Congolese. If me and my wife decide, my son or daughter could be of both cultures. It's all about the discipline that we instill in our kids to learn these things, to take on these things from my side of the family, from her side of the family.
Personally, for me, I feel like this chat about black people always having this, having other black people for being with a different race or for being with a Caucasian woman or Caucasian man. I don't like that bashing. I don't like, because, yeah, well, not to say insecurity, but then just...
Personally, I feel like that's an insecurity problem because, let me just explain why. You do not see a lot of white people posting talking about white beauty. You do not see Indian people posting talking about white beauty. Why? Because the same people that are posting black beauty are going to attack them for it.
If you're constantly as a black person telling the next black person, listen, you can't do this because it brings us down, or it's
not black.
The thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a betrayal. It's saying that it's a betrayal.
Bethel, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem comes in now where your homeboy, my brother, is sitting right next to me, and he's like, yo, I don't date dark-skinned women because they use weaves and all that.
Yeah, but then
I date white women because she's got natural hair and all that stuff.
He doesn't want a black woman who has a weave on.
But he's bashing me. He's bashing me without me.
He's not bashing you. He's telling you what he doesn't want. No, but now
I'm specifically telling you, she's better than you.
Yes.
Then maybe that's how I feel. You can't be angry, man.
I can't be angry because you're black.
But that has nothing to do with why I don't want to date you. Like,
It does. You hate yourself essentially.
No, you can't tell me I hate myself.
You hate yourself. You really do.
I just wanted to, like,
you
diversify my portfolio.
I'm like, listen, I'm chilling here. I'm like, listen, I don't like short girls. And
I don't like guys that don't chill.
It's like saying, no, come on.
I don't like those that have short hair. I get you.
You see,
I
don't do short hair.
This makes sense.
I understand.
Yeah. Except for security. But I just want a dog man. Whatever. I want a dog man.
I feel like at the end of the
I hope
day,
Jesus allows for it.
The blacker the berry.
the sweeter the juice. Scripts.
Guys, I just want to ask, I've noticed that black men, when they make it, when they become
They leave
successful,
that to a white girl.
This is how they trade us. This is how a traitor looks like.
But not just to say,
He's a
listen,
traitor.
The whole thing of leaving, you're successful, you leave your ass with a white girl. Okay, cool, you wanted a white girl in the beginning. Okay, that's what you wanted. Money just made the door open for you because white people be materialistic, sorry to say. Okay, so she wasn't looking at you when you were poor and black because they don't look at you at all. Now you have money in her circle, okay? So it's fine, do what you need to do.
I think it's more like an acquired taste. You know when you have...
I said, I've suffered so much as a black man, and I decided to marry a white woman because I don't want my kids to suffer the same way that I did. Hence, I decided to settle down with a white lady because I feel like the lights that
If you believe that your life or your kid's life will be better because if you marry a person of a particular race, go ahead and do it. I don't feel that there's anything wrong with that.
life is better when you are like her.
That's true.
What do you guys
There's a man who felt some type of way about how he was treated, and he decided to go for something that will lessen the struggle for their children. I believe that, in my perspective, that's a man with a lack of vision. You see what I'm saying? On the message that he's sending to his, and character also. I think he was pretty weak. I believe that whenever you stand against the wall, you need to push through and stand true to who you are and manifest that. Because now when he's going to have those kids, what is he going to tell them?
They'll be better. They'll perish.
Exactly.
My point is, don't romanticize the struggle. If this guy feels that his kid's life will be better if they're lighter, that's cool. You know, the same way you feel that you need to marry a Congolese person so that you can push the culture for your kids. Nobody's saying, hey, it's not going to be different. It's the same way he feels. So, you know, it's your marriage is not going to be a revolution. You hear what I'm saying? I agree with Joy. I completely agree.
I never want to make my children believe a false ideal that their skin color will not oppress them or give them opportunity. And I hope that my marriage is a revolution of that every day.
But we need to, at the end of the day, love each other and put people as people first before their shades or before whatever it is that separates us.
You switch on the TV now on your movies and
You see Lupita Nyong'o?
you see you have your Lupitas, you have your Viola Davises, you have a lot of these strong black women who push a lot of that strong black culture.
Black girl or black young woman, it's beautiful and it's challenging, but it's beautiful in the sense of where I love my skin. You know, there's nothing like my skin.
That allows everybody to flourish, or more black people flourish, more black people from the same plate. You know?
Hashtag.
Shades matter.
Guys.